you so much, Zainab, for joining us for Heritage Week 2024. We truly appreciate it on behalf of American Pakistan Foundation. And I'm so excited to get into your style, your journey, um, and everything that says your brand. Firstly, I just wanted to say a big thank you to you. And also, as an aspiring woman in business, I can't wait to hear about your journey. But for this week's podcast, we have Zainab Salman, who spread her wings in 2011. She has established herself as one of the leading designers targeting Asian, Middle Eastern, and European markets, embracing the beauty of the strength of feminine narratives. Zainab Salman is known for her empowering silhouettes that are exquisitely handcrafted with fine embellishments, embroideries, cutwork, and appliques.
Mm.
Um, Her work has touched its zenith of success both nationally and internationally, which is fantastic. Zainab Salman's forte lies in the blend of exaggerated cuts and ruffled tailoring with the fusion of
Mhm,
colors and rhythm.
mhm,
Zainab
mhm,
started her journey as the founder of the brand 10 years ago. She holds a
mhm,
degree in specialization in fashion marketing from the Pioneer Fashion Institute of Pakistan. To pursue her dreams even further, Zainab went to the home of haute couture maisons, Paris, and got her training from mode spa that
mhm,
eventually carved her way into the global fashion industry.
mhm.
Zainab's exposure in the world of art enabled her to channel creative power and narrate a bold and powerful identity that is the soul of empowering and feminine voices. Zainab Salman Studio. Thank you so much for being with us. And today's official podcast name is Stitching Success, the Journey, Style, and Business of a Pakistani Fashion Designer. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. And we'll get started right away. First question is, could you share an overview of your journey?
So it's actually a really cute story when I think about it. I started almost 10 years ago at the back garage of my house. My father-in-law was kind enough to give me space. He bought me some machines. My dad gave me some machines from his stitching unit, and we put together a really small, cozy unit. And I set up a small studio right across my bedroom with a few mannequins, a few hangers, and that's all how it all started. And even today, like when I meet people who remember me from back in the day, it makes me really, really proud, and I love it when people talk about that time. And it's quite amazing how far along we've come.
That's truly inspiring. And so that was over 10 years ago now.
Almost a little more than 10.
That's amazing. A decade. That's
Mhm.
that means I would have been 10 years old, so that's truly inspiring.
That's really
Uh,
cute.
so then from that, could you walk us through the design process of how you get from concept to more?
So I usually come up with a concept in isolation, to be very honest. I think it's a time when I'm having my morning coffee, or mostly when I travel, I come up with something or I crack something. I come back to my team with a concept. Then we sit together. We have a huge design team now, mashallah, and we sit together. We discuss the concept. We come up with a mood board. We talk about the silhouettes. And then we make prototypes, and there's a whole thought process that goes behind it. And once the prototypes are made, then we then there's another process before it goes into sampling. Every design is made in a different size, and that's called the resampling process. Try it on human body. Again, there we do like a lot of a lot of check on the fit, on the style, on different body types, and once the design is approved, it goes into production.
That's awesome. So then going based off of that, in terms of a collection, And I know you just mentioned, maybe having some trial and error with different body types. What would you say is the toughest part of creating a collection?
So, apart from design, when I just think about creating a collection, the biggest challenge we face, at least within our space, is a constant debate between the sales team and the creative team. Because the creative team always wants to do something new, something creative. We want to experiment with different styles, different cuts. And once a collection is ready and the sales team sees the collection, they always want something that's more commercial, something that sells. They have the database, right? So they always tell us to blindly follow the database, which is not possible because we want to keep innovating and making new things. So I really enjoy that debate. It is challenging, yet it's fun. We usually come to a consensus. We come to a middle point where we do a little bit of new designs, new cuts, at the same time keeping in mind what the consumer really wants. So that's challenging, but at the same time, it's a lot of fun.
That's great. What I was also going to ask was the most fun part of creating a collection, but it seems like you touched on that. Do you want to expand further?
I feel the most fun thing that I love doing new things, and for me to experiment with different cuts, different fabrics. Um, I used to always just restrict myself within a certain color palette. Like we would always do pastels, but now we've even really started experimenting with colors, prints. We go into we do beautiful floral prints, but now we've started doing some animal prints, some different kinds of prints inspired by architecture, and a lot of different elements around me. And that is very exciting for me to just keep experimenting and coming up with new things. It just makes me feel very liberated, I would say.
That's amazing. So I guess like you were saying now you've ventured into some more different types of colors and patterns and maybe textures. So how even further has your design changed over time?
So I would say that fashion industry. It's a very fast moving. It moves at a very fast pace. So we have to keep evolving with time. Again, the design, the brand Zainab Salman's aesthetic is very feminine. It's very feminine, very delicate. We usually have really pretty designs. So keeping that in mind, staying true to the design aesthetic, we have to keep innovating. We have to keep adding new things. As I just said, I've been pushed to experiment with different colors, to experiment with different colors, different prints, and it's been a very it was a very good and a very exciting experience that pushed me out of my comfort zone. But that's something that we have to do because everything is just moving at such a fast pace that you need to keep up with the fast moving trends.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense because even as a consumer, for example, I have two family weddings happening next year, and I'm ready to go start looking. In fact, I've been looking at your websites for my
Mm,
cousin's wedding, and my mom is like, "Wait, the style is going to change." So I can't imagine what it's like for someone who's creating the product. Um,
absolutely.
and now kind of moving more to the brand as a whole. How would you
Mhm.
describe the Zainab Salman.
So the Zainab Salman woman, I would say like a Zainab Salman woman is someone who's very bold, unapologetic, yet very compassionate and deeply rooted. You will see a lot of bold silhouettes, but at the same time, you will see that the designs are mostly kept modest. You will see a little traditional elements here and there, and so I would say it's a very it's a perfect balance, in my opinion. It's a perfect balance of a woman who's passionate yet compassionate.
I love that. I can't tell you, I love the way you phrase that. Especially as a young woman myself, I'm only 19 years old, so that's inspiring. I love that saying so
Mhm.
much. And following up on that, I've gone through your website and your Instagram, and I've seen a lot about just Zainab. So could you go into, what is Zainab or how is she different from Zainab
So,
Salman?
so, so Zainab is a new line. It's a bridal couture line that we're just in the process of launching. Um, it, it's a it's a bridal line and it's couture, so it has a lot of couture elements that you won't find in Zainab Salman. Um, like if you see the collection, we have some really nice, beautiful, stunning corsets. We have some really beautiful draped saris and some really beautiful lehengas, cholis, a lot of bridal wear that can be customized. And this is how like and when you shop at Zainab Saman, there's not much you can do with the design. It's something that it's just available off the rack. A lot of luxury bread, a lot of bread, but Zainab is different. It is more couture, and it is one collection that I feel it's my dream collection. We've I have personally really indulged myself in every detail, from the craftsmanship to the color palette to the stitching to the silhouettes. I really hope all of you love that collection as much as I do.
Can I ask what inspired the new collection to come out, or have you hit the point where you were ready to release this?
So, so I just felt that the brand. So since the last couple of years, the Zainab Salman has really started spreading the wings, as I would say, that we didn't want to only restrict ourselves as a Pakistani brand, catering to Pakistani consumer or Pakistani women. In fact, we wanted to spread out and position ourselves as a brand catering to all South Asian women across the world. So with Zainab, I kind of started over where I could experiment with the silhouettes the way I wanted to. So if you see that there are a lot of modest silhouettes, you would see like there is a beautifully worked lehenga with a really nice shirt, like a mid-length shirt with asteens, like sleeves, and the same lehenga paired with a really stunning short choli. Um, so you would see like a sari with a beautifully worked blouse. At the same time, you would see a sari with a stunning corset, a lot of ruffles, a lot of jackets. So this collection is something that I would say any South Asian woman can relate to the collection. And I put everything under one line and under one collection and launched it by my own name, which is Zainab by Zainab Salman.
That's wonderful. And I actually had a question pop into my head, if you don't mind me asking, but we spoke on the phone a few days
Mhm.
ago, and
Mhm.
it really piqued my interest about how you're trying to open your line to people who are beyond South Asian, and across the global network. So I was wondering,
Mhm.
either one, how you're approaching that, or two, what led you to be like, I want, my name to be and my designs to be worldwide, and almost how are you incorporating different cultures as well?
Um, can you hear me? I can't hear you, Iman.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Okay. Did you want me should I repeat my question?
Yeah, could you say that again?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, could you
Um,
say that again?
I was just saying my interest was really piqued when we were discussing on the phone how you are looking to expand your designs to something that's beyond South Asian. And growing up in the United States, I find that
Mm-hmm.
really interesting. I have a lot of Middle Eastern friends, I have a lot of European friends. So I was wondering how you are going to be able to incorporate those different cultures into your lines.
Um, Again, I feel that by incorporating different silhouettes, if you see this collection, if you look at the collection, you would see you can visualize any Middle Eastern woman wearing it. Like we have those long kaftans, these longer shirts. If you look at the saris or you look at the lehengas, any Indian girl would be able to wear it. And then if you look at like the more modest pieces, I would say that is more for the Pakistani audience. So, it by incorporating different cuts and styles and different silhouettes, I feel we've amalgamated everything together and we're bringing the best of both worlds together. And I feel the collection is very relatable to women from different parts of the world.
And I think that's what makes the brand so inspiring, that you truly are trying to appeal to a wider audience than just solely South Asia. And I truly appreciate that too, because then, if I have friends who are saying, I need something nicer, I was like, I
Absolutely.
know who you can go to. Um and I guess jumping off of that, we only have two more questions left. But what strategies have you found effective in growing your business? Like you said, you started, by with some help from your family.
So I feel you need to have a purpose. Um, you need to have a purpose, and when you find that purpose, you need to relentlessly pursue it. Like when I talk about Zainab Salman, always say that it's not just a brand, but it's a community of women that we've built. It's a community of women who empower and uplift each other. And that is the purpose that I have for the brand, I have for myself, and it really keeps me driven and focused. And another thing that I always tell everyone is something that really add values to anything you do in life is being disciplined, and being consistent. There are a lot of times that we've had bad collections. There are a lot of times where we've haven't achieved the results that we wanted, but I have always remained consistent, and that is something that you must keep doing if you want to be successful.
That's great. That's wonderful advice. I guess even jumping a bit more specific on terms of it as advice, and for our final uh question
Mhm.
is, what would your message be to female entrepreneurs, both starting out but maybe who are lost in the process?
I would say just believe in yourself. Believe in yourself, take the jump, and watch your dreams unfold.
That's great. I love it.
Mhm.
That's it for this podcast, but truly I can't thank you enough for joining the American Pakistan Foundation Heritage Week, where we were able to discuss so many different elements. But this was truly wonderful, and hopefully we'll have you back sometime about more developments on your designs.
Thank you so much for having me. It was wonderful speaking to you.